Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a minute and I apologize for that, you guys. I've been kind of slacking on the videos a little bit, but spring's right around the corner and I got some fun trips coming up. Me and my buddy are going to Eufaula at the end of February, and we're going to do a little video series, 2 or 3 day video series for that. Really looking forward to that trip. And a few other trips, going out to South Carolina in mid-March, hopefully to do some bed fishing and things like that. So got some videos coming. Sorry for slacking, but I gotta pick it back up, man. I'm excited to get started again. So anyway, the reason I'm doing this video today is I got some super exciting news for you guys, man. I'll tell you what, I've been kind of eyeballing this, the new Jacob Wheeler Select Series rods, from Duckett. And, I had a G Loomis bladed jig rod, but, it's kind of more like a medium. And it was just a little bit too flimsy for me. So I sold it, made some pretty good money off of it, and was almost able to do an even swap on this rod right here. I got on Tackle Warehouse looking for this rod for a while, and it just, they was on back order forever, things like that. And I was just like, man, you know what? Let me call around and see if I can find, some Duckett dealers, around here. And sure enough, there's 2 out in Guntersville. Tackle Outdoors is where I ended up getting this rod. And the guy was, those guys over there are super nice. So the guy put one aside for me, and I drove an hour and a half out there to come get this rod. So super stoked. When I first, laid eyes on this rod, I got to looking at it and I was like, wow, man, this paint job is it's absolutely beautiful. It's got blue flakes on it. Down here at the butt of the rod, going up to the trigger, and then the reel seat, and then it fades into a silver and then back into blue, and it just goes all the way back up the rod here. Absolutely just beautiful rod. Notice a couple little differences from the last rod, and the obvious ones are, it's got the corks now, which I really like because it's got better grip. So I'm a huge fan of that. Just cannot wait to get this thing out and test it out. So yeah, so let's get in the specs of this thing. I already talked about the paint job, but this is a 7.4 medium heavy moderate. And I wanted a medium heavy because, like I said, on that G Loomis rod, it was more like a medium. It was just a little bit too flimsy. So this rod will be able to handle some bigger weights, not a problem at all. And then, of course, fighting bigger fish. When I had that G Loomis bladed jig rod, I had caught a 7-pounder, like a 7.5 pounder, and I couldn't even move that fish. Well, needless to say, I'm not going to have that problem with this rod. And it's an all graphite rod. Which that's what you want for a chatterbait rod is a graphite rod. They're absolutely the best rods for bladed jig fish and stuff like that. It's got a great parallelic bend to it. It's probably 70-30, but it's a medium heavy, so it's just an all-around great all-purpose rod. I'll be able to fish heavy baits, light baits, the whole nine. Ways I'm probably going to use this rod, like I said, bladed jig. It's probably going to be a phenomenal lipless crankbait rod, a phenomenal spinnerbait rod, just an all-around just freaking awesome rod. And I know that anything that Jacob Wheeler, puts his name on or helps design or whatever, it's just going to be a proven winner, guys. I mean, this is just going to be an awesome rod. I just cannot wait to get it out and use it. Matter of fact, when I finish up here in the house, we're going to go out to the water and we're going to cast it around a little bit. The sensitivities on these duckets are amazing. It's got micro guides on it all the way up, which help with sensitivity. They're super, super lightweight. I just know it's going to be a phenomenal rod. The price point on it, it's a little bit more expensive, naturally with anything else. But the price point's $249, and I promise you it's going to be worth every penny. So that pretty much does it for the rod. On to the reel here and what I wanted to pair it with. I did a lot of research on these Shimano reels, and this Bantam MGL-A stood out to me for numerous reasons. This is also a workhorse of a reel. It's got a ton of features and it's super unique. We'll talk about the design first. This is a full metal reel, so therefore it's a little bit heavier. This reel comes in at 7.6 ounces, and that's due to, the all metal frame. So it's going to be a little bit heavier than some of the other Shimano reels like the Chronarch or the Metanium, but this right here, being that it's full metal, helps with the sensitivity. The size of it is it's very small, almost like the BFS Shimano reels. Matter of fact, I think it's just a little bit smaller even than the BFS, which is the smallest Shimano reel they make. This is almost the exact same size. It fits so nice in the palm of your hand, when you're cupping it and stuff like that. It's got a deep spool on it, which I like, so it'll hold, a good bit of line depending on, I'll probably be running 15 to 17 for my chatterbaits, lipless crankbaits, stuff like that. It's got infinity drive on it, and infinity drive is, best way to explain it, if you're using like a deep diving crankbait or anything, that bait that has a lot of resistance coming back through the water, it's gonna have more torque in it and be able to you'll be able to reel that bait back to the boat that much easier. So even though it's a 7:1 to 1 gear ratio, or even the 8:1 to 1, this thing, they have these brass micro module gears in them, and they that's what gives it the torque and the strength. Pretty unique feature, and it's just, a lot of the Shimanos have that, the brass micro module gears in them, and man, they're just, this reel can do it all. Basically can do it all. It's meant for power fishing and stuff like that. I love to power fish. Let's check out the internal brake system. This thing, the side plate opens up real easy. I love how that thing opens up. It's super easy to do. Next to your spool. And then there's your 6 internal brakes right there, okay? So when they're flipped up, that means they're off. When you flip them down, that means they're on, okay? When I take this out on the water, we're gonna take this out on the water, guys, and we're gonna dial it in together here shortly. But that's your internal brakes, which is gonna allow you to dial it in and throw all kind of different weights and baits, which will be really cool. We're gonna dial that in here shortly. We pop this thing back on. All right, and then on the outside has a brake shifter, or whatever you want to call it. It's 1 through 6, and 6 is the max. And then 1 is the very less as far as brakes. This allows you to, say it's windy outside on the water, the wind picks up, and I know, we've all been there, for those of you that owns bait casters, the wind picks up and you make a cast, and man, next thing you know, you backlash like crazy. You know, I'm going to be trying to be mindful of that when I'm out on the water. I can simply take this and move it up, you know, to adjust for some of that wind that kicks up, or if it's a windy day. That's such a cool feature right there. Freaking awesome, man. So anyway, that's the whole reason why I got this and I was sold on this reel. You know, because I wanted to pair it with that, because I just think it'd be a perfect pair. Both are workhorse, you know, reel, workhorse rod. It just made sense to me. So anyway, the price point on this thing is $359. But once again, it's a Shimano. You ain't gonna beat a Shimano. It's gonna be silky freaking smooth. It's gonna cast a freaking mile, which, like I said, we're gonna, you know, we'll go out and we'll dial it all in. And I'm just super excited for this combo. I got a feeling that this is gonna be my all-time, you know, favorite combo. I got a couple other G Loomises and some high-end Daiwa reels, you know, the Zillions and stuff. I love those, man, but there's gonna be something special about this combo right here. But anyway, let's go out on the water, man, and do a little casting challenge, and we'll dial this thing in together. We'll see you guys out there shortly. All right, y'all. Came down here to the park, come down here to the pond, and it looks like to me like we got a little wind on the pond for this casting challenge, and to break in this bantam. So with that being said, I'm gonna try to cast with the wind today. Looks like it's blowing out of the east, southeast today. So there's a big old pond right down here. This is where a lot of times I'll come down here and you know, test baits, test rods, things like that. So let's get it. Oh yeah, definitely got a little wind out here for sure. Lot nicer than it was yesterday though, that's for sure. Finally gonna hit a warming trend down here in Alabama. It's been awfully cold these last couple weeks, but we're about to get back to our norms, so definitely looking forward to that. But all right, on to the casting challenge and breaking this thing in. Take the rod sleeve off, and we are going to get started here. Okay, so first and foremost, when you throw a bait caster, here's your brake tension knob right here. Okay, now before you make a cast, you want your bait to barely move down, okay? And that's what your brake tension knob controls. All right, the more you open it, let's open it up, the faster your bait's gonna fall. I don't recommend that for beginners when you cast. Matter of fact, I keep mine, you know, fairly tight. You know, I like a slow fall, especially if it's windy, you know, when you make a cast. So anyway, you got to do that before you even make a first cast. So let's open up these internal brakes, and we are going to start with all of them, all the brakes on. Okay, so they're all going to be open. All right, that's where we're going to start, and we're going to do, okay, now that we got that set, we're going to make 2 casts per setting. So here goes the first one. All right, not the best distance, just like I thought. Okay, probably I would say I don't know, 40 feet or whatever. All right, so we'll do one more. Hopefully you guys can see it splash right there. And the, you know, the thing at 6. Okay, so let's move this thing up to, let's go 4. We should get a little bit more distance. If I had to guess, about another 5-10 feet, but let's see. Okay, yeah, probably about another 5 foot or so, I would say. Let's hurry up and reel that thing back in. Make another cast. Probably gonna be about the same thing. Yep, same thing. Okay, so I got about another, I don't know, 5-6 foot. Okay, so now let's we're gonna keep the tension, the outside brake tension thing at 4. Okay, but so we got to open back up the side plate here, and let's do let's turn one brake off, and then another, so we'll do 2 brakes off. Okay, and then we'll leave, so we got 4 brakes on and 2 brakes off. Okay, all right, so let's make a cast with that. We're going to keep it at 4 this time because that might be the sweet spot. You know, about right in the middle between 1 and 6. We'll go 4. Okay, I'm gonna make 2 casts with this. Oh yeah, that definitely improved the distance. I would say about another 10 foot, and we're probably knocking on the door of 65 foot, and that's like literally just a flick of the wrist. Okay, I don't think we've quite hit the sweet spot yet. Okay, so let's make another cast, and this time I'm going to put a little bit more power into the cast and a little bit more side, you know, side arm cast. About the same. So we'll make a 3rd cast, and we will turn the outside brake knob to, let's go 3. Okay, there's 3. Okay, oh yeah, okay, that gave me another probably good 5 foot right there. Okay, we're starting to get out there now, closer probably to 70 feet. Okay, oh, just got hung up on something there. It has got downright nice out here. The wind just died off and the sun came out. This is the start of the warming trend I was just talking about. All right, folks, do I dare? I'm gonna keep it at 3 because I gotta be honest, my other Shimano reels, I usually keep at 3. That's usually a sweet spot for me. But I'm gonna open up 1 more brake to see if we can get even more casting distance out of this sucker. Okay, so we're gonna open, or we're gonna turn 1 more off. Okay, pop the side plate back on. All right, now this might be the max cast right here. Okay, I'm gonna hit my thumb, make sure my tension and the bait is falling, you know, where I want it. I'm a little nervous, I don't want a backlash, but I think that's about right. Hopefully you guys can see that. Yeah, the bait's falling about right. Okay, now this should be the max cast right here. Might be the sweet spot. All right, here we go. Wow, I hope you guys saw that. Look how much line came off that reel, and it's just completely effortless cast right there. Unbelievable. I saw a comparison video to the old MGL, you know, compared to the new MGL right here. And casting distance was one of the biggest things that was improved in these reels. All right, let's do one more cast. I'm really gonna put everything into it now that I can. Wow. I mean, that's got to be probably 75, 80 foot right there, at least. And there is a little bit of wind. I'm kind of casting sideways, or the wind's kind of coming sideways into the cast, okay? Now, would I make this cast into the wind? Absolutely not. I would definitely turn that thing up so I don't backlash, okay? So I'm gonna go down to 2.5 on the outside brake thing here, okay, just to see if I can get another few feet, okay? All right, here we go. Buttery smooth, never had to feather the spool with my finger, and I probably got about another 2 or 3 feet, okay? So let's hurry up and reel this thing in for y'all. Okay, let's open up the side plate here. And that's 2.5 on the outside. And like I said, that is 3 brakes off and 3 brakes on, okay? So 3 and 3, I think, is gonna be my sweet spot, y'all. You know what? We'll turn one more off just because. We're gonna turn one more brake off, and then we'll do 2 more casts. All right. All right, I'm a little nervous about this. I'm probably gonna, I'm gonna turn it up to 3 just because, I mean, I'm not scared of a backlash, but you know, 9 times out of 10, you can pick them out if it's not like, you know, too horrible. But all right, here we go. Probably the last couple casts here is probably gonna be my sweet spot. Let's see. Wow, that's crazy. Okay, I'm probably every bit of sitting on 80 to 90, probably 80 foot right there, easy. I'll make one more cast for you guys. Hopefully you can see it. And then when I get home to edit this, I'll do a zoom in just to see if you guys can you know, see how far this cast really is. This is unbelievable. All right, and that, I mean, I didn't even put a lot of effort into that. You know, I didn't have to feather the spool with my thumb or anything like that. And I kept it at 3 on the outside, okay? I'm gonna turn it down to like 2.5 this time, just to see if I can get just a little bit more. All right, here we go. Nope, see? That's gonna be it right there, okay? Because I noticed here it started kind of getting a little loose or whatever. But it did give me another foot or so. Also, you know, obviously, you know, when you're using a longer rod with more parabolic bend, you know, like your deep cranks or heavier baits, you know, the rod is going to make a distance on your cast ability too. The longer the rod and more parabolic bend is, the more you can really chuck these things. So like I said, I went down to 2.5. I'm going to turn it back up to 3, okay? And watch this. I'm not going to have to feather this whatsoever. I think I found my sweet spot here. Okay, so here we go. Look at that. Look at that distance, and no backlashes, no nothing. Didn't have to feather the spool at all or anything, okay? That is amazing. I've hit my sweet spot. I'm totally happy with that. Matter of fact, I'm gonna make one more cast because this is just so freaking awesome, man. You are not gonna find another bait caster other than Shimano that is gonna be able to cast this far. What we talked about at the house with the infinity drive, you know, the brake system that allows you on the outside to adjust for wind. Okay, this is exactly why, you guys, these reels are this expensive. And to be honest with you, this this reel right here is mid-grade for a Shimano. Okay, I got other ones that are cheaper. This is by far my most expensive reel so far, but I'm gonna love it. Okay, very last cast, guys, and then we'll wrap it up. Look at that distance. I have never thrown a bait caster that far before. That is probably 90 feet. Probably 40 yards or whatever it is. I'm not sure exactly what that is. Wow, talk about making some pinpoint casts. You know, long casts so you don't have to get on the fish, you know, to scare them off if you're offshore fishing, depending on the depth that you're fishing. Wow. Blown away. Look how much line came off that reel. Or that spool, I'm sorry. If you guys have, you know, one of these bantams or have any questions or whatever the case may be, you know, leave your questions down in the comments. I'd love to just even talk to you about it to see what you guys think about your Bantam Shimano reels or what have you. But I highly suggest you guys go get one of these, man. 2022 model, freaking awesome. Pair it with your, you know, whatever technique, because this reel can do it all. I mean, absolute workhorse of a reel. Go check one out, guys. Well, guys, you guys got all the info on the new Shimano Bantam MGL-A and the Ducket Select Series rod, Chatterbait rod, and I gave y'all a casting challenge out here and dialed it in for you guys. So that's a lot of information in one video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe and hit that little ding bell, you know, notification bell, so you can get all my videos in the future. Thank you guys so much, and I hope you have an awesome day. Peace.